This is what the Baltimore Ravens need to do in the 2024 NFL Draft. Ryan Wilson and Josh Edwards from the With the First Pick podcast here to give you an ultimate mock draft for the team that picks 30th overall. All right, let's jump into the NFL mock draft database simulator. Hit the button, Harry. Let's get this party started. So we're sitting here at the bottom of the first round. Fingers crossed, Caleb Williams last, and the Ravens can get two great quarterbacks. That's a joke. So as we wait for this thing here, Josh, the biggest needs for me are, I mean, they've done some things. Wide receiver sort of comes off the board here. Interior offensive line, maybe. They lost Morgan Moses, so right tackle could be an issue here. So let's go. Jackson Powers-Johnson, he's an interior offensive lineman. Graham Barton played left tackle at Duke. He's going to kick inside. If you want some wide receiver help, A.D. Mitchell is your guy. They got Derrick Henry, and that's pretty much all they've done in free agency. Oh, my gosh. Xavier Worthy and Ladd McConkey are there. What do you think? Where's a good place to start?
I didn't expect Baltimore to be at this stage where they do have so many needs at this point in the offseason because they lost Kevin Zeitler as well. They lost Jadeveon Clowney. It feels like they've extracted more from that roster than they've added to it. So I think there's a couple different directions you go. And even though the wide receivers are tantalizing here, I think you have to consider your offensive line. If there were an edge rusher, possibly go in that direction, but just reinvesting in that offensive line, giving them somebody that's going to account for those losses that they've suffered this offseason.
So Zeitler's gone. Andrew Voorhees, who they drafted after, I think he tore his ACL at the combine last year. I felt like he would have been a day 2, early day 3 pick. They stashed him on the roster. The Ravens really good at that. So he's penciled in at left guard right now. Right guard's been Cleveland. Patrick McCarry's at right tackle. So to your point, they have some needs. I'm leading Jackson Powers-Johnson here. What do you think?
I'm good with that.
Let's do it. Jackson Powers-Johnson, come on down. Steelers fans going to be incredibly angry that he lasted past pick 20. Not the Ravens' problem. Next up, pick 62. We can check the box on interior offensive line. He's not going to play center with Tyler Linderbaum there, but he can play certainly left guard if you want to ease him into that role. Next up, all right, let's go to the offensive tackles. Let's start there and just see what we got. So Kieran Amagaje is still there. Blake Fisher. Matt Goncalves is a player I like, but I think he kicks inside. Roger Rosengarten, right tackle. And Christian Jones is an interesting name. I don't know if he's too rich there. And then let's go to the edge rush button real quick, Harry. So Adisa Isaac, Jonah Ellis, Brandon Dorless, Austin Booker, Gabriel Murphy out of UCLA, Javon Solomon out of Troy. All right, Josh, you can make this pick. I'll either confirm it or deny it.
Go back to the best available again, Harry, if you wouldn't mind. Again, our guy, Edgerrin Cooper. You lose Patrick Queen, but let's see. Scroll down a little bit more.
So they also, Mikey Sanders still there. They have Darius Washington, who they signed. They brought back Arthur Millette. Mikey's an upgrade, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Edgerrin Cooper, it just keeps jumping out. I don't know. I don't know if he's being undervalued at this point, but
it's edge.
Too good of a player to pass up.
Harry's turned in the card. All right. So offense and defense with the first 2 picks, both likely day 1 starters, it feels like. Because Roquan Smith is there, but Patrick Queen is now in Pittsburgh. Trenton Simpson, who they drafted last year in the 3rd round, is penciled in as the starter. I don't know if he's starting capable as of now, but he's a fantastic athlete. Pick 93. All right, Michael Hall Jr. sitting there. You have Matabike, so I don't know if you need Matabike 2.0. Can you have too many Matabikes on your roster? So Javon Bullard is sitting there, a player that I like a lot as a nickelback. Ooh. Chris Abrams-Strain, the cornerback. So cornerbacks are Brandon Stevens and Marlon Humphreys with Jalen Armour Davis, the former Alabama player behind them, and Demarius Williams. Anything that jumps out to you here?
Michael Hall Jr., I think, is one of the better players available. Yep. I also love Chris Abrams-Strain, so those would be my two finalists.
Let's do Chris Abrams-Strain. He's a great player. His name was we were talking about Chris Abrams-Strain before Ennis Rakestraw became Ennis Rakestraw. They had 2 really good cornerbacks. Ennis is probably going to go earlier, but Chris is a really good player. All right, pick 113. We have 2 defensive players and an offensive player. Oh, Jermaine Burton still sitting there. Now they have Derrick Henry. They have Keaton Mitchell coming back off the ACL. So I don't think you consider a running back here. There's another long cornerback in Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. Oh my gosh, they have a ton of hit the wide receiver button, Harry, if you don't mind. Jermaine Burton, Jalen McMillan, Johnny Wilson. I'm not taking him here. Javon Baker. So Jalen McMillan and Jermaine Burton are popping out to me here. Any thoughts?
Between those two, I would lean Jalen McMillan. I've come to appreciate him a lot more throughout the process.
Yeah. All right. So let's add Jalen McMillan, Harry. Now he can join Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar. That's a group of pass catchers. Next up, pick 130. And so they have 50 tight ends. I love Theo Johnson, and Ben Sennett's still there. What are we doing? Oh my gosh. I would consider taking Ben Sinnott here. But they do have Isaiah Likely to go along with Mark Andrews and Charlie Golo, who was in the same draft class as Isaiah Likely. We have a cornerback. We've gotten interior offensive line help. Go to offensive tackle, Harry, and let's see. Oh, Christian Jones is still Javon Foster. I'm thinking Christian Jones. Depth at right tackle.
Works for me. Yeah.
And they need a right tackle. Bada bing, bada boom. Man, this is actually a pretty good draft. All right, we still got 4 more picks to make. Sweet mercy. This is the most Ravens draft ever. All right, let's start taking some best available players here. Sione Baki's still there if you want to add some depth at linebacker / running back. Javion Cohen add some depth at interior offensive line. Javon Solomon. So hit the edge button real quick, if you don't mind, Harry. Thank you. Javon Solomon. Brennan Jackson, that's a big Pete Prisco guy. Scroll down a little bit. Eric Watts. So I'm thinking, I don't know if you've watched Javon Solomon. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? You want to take him here?
Yeah. Muscled up, good edge rusher.
Yeah, edge rush help here. They do need edge rushers, even though they drafted them. They just haven't quite worked out. Hopefully they will. Next up. All right, let's see what we got in terms of best available. So Jared Wiley, the tight end, is still there. Ro Torrance. Dwight McLaughlin is a cornerback that I like a lot, that I think I'm higher on than other people. He's big. I thought he played pretty well at Arkansas. Add some depth to, I mean, they could use some turnover. They could stand to have some depth at the cornerback position. Do you have any thoughts on Dwight?
I like him a lot. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you are, so I'm good with that pick.
All right, let's do it. All right. Next up. Good Lord, what pick are we on now, Producer Harry? 218? Oh, no, 2 more picks, 228 and 250. All right. I'm laughing because Sam Hartman's name's there. He would have the best hair on the team by a mile. So they have Lamar, they have Josh Johnson, Malik Cunningham. I don't think you need another quarterback. Anyone stick out to you here, Josh, in terms of guy you added?
Yeah, a couple players that I really like, but they play positions that we've already addressed. I like Brennan Jackson a lot. I like Keith Randolph. I like Marcellus Dial, the cornerback from South Carolina. We haven't taken an interior defensive lineman yet. Is that right?
No, that's right.
So, I mean, we could take Christian Boyd. We could take Keith Randolph, either one.
Yeah, all right. Let's go Randolph, because I think he adds a little versatility in terms of a 3-5 if you want to play him at 3 interior or kick him outside. All right, one last pick. And Nathaniel Watson is a player that I like on tape, in that he can play in the middle of the field. We just got a linebacker early on in Edge Cooper. Drake Nugent's a center. I don't know if you need that right now with Tyler Linderbaum. AJ Barner. Do we want to add a tight end? We have 4 of these guys. I don't think so. Jason McClellan's a running back. Keep scrolling, Harry. Need one more. I'm happy with Willie Drew as a developmental cornerback. If he's a good athlete, he's big. I thought he handled himself well at the Senior Bowl in the 1-on-1 drills. What do you think?
Did we take a second corner? Do
Did we take 2? We had Chris Abrams-Drain and we had Dwight McGlothern. Oh, we had 2. All right, let's see what else we have. Anything else stick out to you?
I mean, I like AJ Barner. I mean,
wait a
I
second.
know they don't need a tight end that much, but
all right, let's AJ Barner and scroll down a little bit, and then Tulane's Jaquan Jackson is somehow on the board. He offers return ability, shifty in space. I mean, you could say he's sort of like Zay Flowers, but he's not that twitched up. They play different positions. So I'll leave it to you. Jaquan Jackson or AJ Barner. I do like AJ Barner as well, the tight end out of Michigan.
We'll just go with Jaquan.
Boom, done. All right, that team is much better. All right. Quick recap: Jackson Powers Johnson, Edge Cooper, Chris Abrams-Drain, Jalen McMillan, good Lord, Christian Jones, Javon Solomon, Dwight McGlothern, Keith Randolph Jr., and Jaquan Jackson to end it. That's a pretty solid draft for the old Ravens here. That wraps up the Ravens' perfect draft class. Make sure to subscribe to NFL on CBS on YouTube and download the With the First Pick podcast wherever you get your podcast. Stay tuned for more Ultimate Mock Drafts because we're hitting all 32 teams.